So the Fawley Challenge Cup, and it's San Diego Rowing Club from the USA, who are on the Berkshire station. Beg your pardon, on the Buck station, and on the Berkshire station it is Great Marlow School. And I have new company. Welcome.
Hello, Anna Watkins joining you now. These young lads, they're probably racing in their first Henley Regatta, and it's quite an intimidating experience, I should think, for them. They racing the qualifiers, which Marlow had to do. You're racing one boat down this course, but of course now they've got to the side-by-side race. There's two boats, and I can tell you it does feel narrow when you're there. So they'll be pleased to have got off to a clean start. And to be, avoiding those booms, which is what we all worry about at Henley as rowers. You can see now San Diego have taken the lead up about half a length. Bit of a grimace there from Jack Gazer in the stroke seat, and his tongue's out.
They are marginally the heavier crew. There's not a lot between them, and Great Marlow, of course, whose most famous alumnus is none other than everybody's boss here today, Sir Steve Redgrave, who will be delighted to see his alma mater represented for the very first time here. Very special for Great Marlow School to be involved. They have Edward Nunn in the bow seat, Tom Newell at 2, James Wheel at 3, and Dan Magnuson at stroke.
And they're the black and red crew that you can see there. I've had a little look. Their results this year, they raced at Bedford Regatta, and they were knocked out by the eventual winners. They only made it through a round, but it was the eventual winners that went on to that did knock them out. So we haven't really seen what they can do as a crew. This will be a big test for them. They're representing the pride of their school. As you said, it's got an excellent pedigree. They are down a little bit here, but their winter's training will be what sees them through the middle of this race, and we'll see if they can mount a challenge, mount some fight back. And
it is important not to be patronising in a situation like this, but this is a breakthrough for this school and for these guys, and their very participation is a terrific achievement for them, and they are at least keeping San Diego interested here. More than that, it's a tighter race than might have appeared to be the case in the very early stages.
Yeah, that's right. I mean, when we see an international crew coming across, you tend to expect that they'll be of a high standard, because in order to make the journey all the way across the Atlantic, it's got to be worth it. So they'll have tended to have had a successful season domestically, and this crew have won the American Southwest Regionals in this crew, and fourth at the American National Championships. So that is quite a pedigree for San Diego Rowing Club, and Marlow will know that, and they're going to have to step up a little bit here if they want to make it through to Thursday's day of racing. I should imagine that all their parents are on the bank today. They're local boys, and they'll be very proud to see them as they start to come in front of the main parts of the crowds here. You can see on that shot there's a little bit of wash from the pleasure boats. That's also a big challenge for them. Most of their training they'll have done on calm water, on quiet water, and of course in Henley we don't have a full river closure, so you do get these cruises going up and down, and that presents a challenge for rowers of all standards. You can see the boat rocking there. They'll be trying to keep their blades clear of the water as the wash from the cruisers comes across.
Talking of parents watching, I guess those who haven't been able to make the trip from San Diego are able to enjoy for the first time the opportunity to watch these live pictures. I suppose it's lunchtime or thereabouts in San Diego right now, so I hope that indeed these pictures are going down well wherever you're watching them, in your homes or indeed at your club. Your club are doing you proud, San Diego, with what is now a substantial 3, 4, 5 length lead over Great Marlow as they head up to that glorious collection of trees and beyond the roaring enclosures, who I'm sure will have a very special welcome for these four guys who bear the weight, in a sense, of Sir Steve Redgrave. That is an act which is, of course, more or less impossible to follow, but equally those are shoes which it is a privilege to tread into, and they, I hope, are able to enjoy that privilege on this most special of afternoons for them.
While the result of this race doesn't seem to be in much doubt anymore, neither crew is backing off. I think San Diego want to set a marker, want to see what they can do on this course, maybe send out a message to the opposition that they'll face tomorrow and onwards. And for Marlow, you know, this is their big regatta. This is what they've been building up to all season. They won't have been sure they've made it through the qualifiers. To get here and race today is a big deal for them, and they'll be wanting to have their best race of the season, you know, even if they come in second place. And you can see from the expressions on their faces now, there's grimacing going on. Nobody is backing down. Everybody's going to cross the finish line exhausted in this quad sculls.
And speaking technically, from what you see of San Diego, can you see in them a four that is possibly going to continue to progress?
Yeah, what I really like about San Diego's rowing is that at the beginning of the stroke, they're using their legs and just their legs for the first half of the stroke, and then they accelerate their bodies through in the second half. You can see on the Marlow side, you know, maybe they just open their bodies a little bit at the very beginning of the stroke, and that means that your legs are less effective. So I'd say there's a technical difference between the two crews in standard, and for boys that have probably been rowing for, you know, not more than 3 or 4 years, that's a good quad. It's a good leg-driven stroke. You know, they're using the big muscles, their quad muscles, which is the key to speed in this sport. And they're pretty well drilled, as you'd expect to be if you're going to come halfway around the world to race. Which, you know, it's great for the regatta that people want to come and do that.
Well, it is fantastic, and once again, it is evident that challengers in all competitions from the other side of the Atlantic are formidable, and enhance this event hugely, deepen its competitive nature, broaden its horizons, and provide challenges, including this one, which will have been a well-met challenge by Great Marlow, albeit in defeat. It is San Diego Rowing Club from the USA who progress at Henley 2015, and Great Marlow, whose experience is now over.